When I think about her story, I think about why I founded it, why I was inspired to give young girls and women a voice, and I am immediately drawn to my own family, my mother, my grandmother, my sisters, my aunts, my cousins, my niece, and in a very rare occurrence, a handful of us are all together in one spot this weekend for I would say, inaugural girls trip. So what a great opportunity not only to get to know my family members on a deeper level, get to hear their own individual stories, but also be able to listen to and share the stories that really bring us all together, not just as women, but as family members. And I'm really, really eager to watch this matriarchal lineage come together in a way that expresses feminine power. And I really think that that completely embodies what her story is.
So being a mother to me means being available, being a model, especially when I had daughters. That's a big question. Being a mother means carrying on a tradition. I'm gonna cry. It means breaking patterns, making new opportunities, living what was next from my mom so that my girls could carry it farther. I have a son, but my girls are here, so.
Or a couple traits that you feel like you got from mom.
Oh man. Deep thinking, like just enjoying being in my own thoughts, I think. Like we like to reflect a lot and ask questions. I mean, hence you're also interviewing. I'm stopping myself from asking questions back to you of like, because the question that came to mind was like, I'm like, you experienced other moms, like who were in your life too. And I'm wondering what that comparison is like. So when that conversation comes up, just.
I'm about to write it down.
What traits of my mother do I see in my daughters? I will start with you, Jerica, but there's a lot of crossover. But the desire just to move around and see every corner of this globe. I see the determination and ambition that she has. I see things about my mom and you that are advanced beyond, what I saw her embody. I think both of you are you're the extended version, the evolved version of the things in her that she, in her generation, which I would reflect on commonly, in her generation, she couldn't fully express. And I saw what she modeled, though, was the determination to do it. And then traits, there's so many, but traits that I saw early in you, Devon, that are like grandma. Creativity off the charts. The freedom seeking, similar but different from how I see it with you. Your freedom seeking, like grandma, is just unbound. There's nothing that holds you. And I think as an adult, I see you allowing a little more limitation, but that's not your spirit. Your spirit is like her. It is freedom. It is exploration. It's creating things. Like you guys used to sit and do crafts together. You would dress up together, like those cute little, before church pictures that we have. Grandma's a complicated woman. But I have to say, I only see the best in her, in you guys. The things about my mom, your grandmother, that I see, or that are consciously in my lens of how I became who I am, are both, I see it both from a positive lens and a negative. In the most positive, grandma wanted to be a mother more than anything. I didn't think I wanted to be a mother. And then I had these girls. So I found, and some of this came a lot later in life, but I found that grandma's dedication to family, despite how it might have looked on the surface, was seated in me deep. And then on the negative, the things that, and I think I heard, Chakise say this earlier, when you look at your parents, you're like, what do I not want to do like them? And what do I want to do like them when you become a parent? And there were things, the hand that my mother, your grandma, was dealt, I knew where it came from, but I didn't want to do it like her. I didn't want to move you guys around so much. I remember, and I know you've heard this story, that when you were born and they put you in my arms and you were a surprise girl, not a boy, that I said, I'll never leave you. And I never did. And I never will. And I never will.
I think I just liked seeing how they handled the world. Like they could, like things that I think that would have upset me as a little kid, I could see them kind of laugh it off or laugh at themselves. And I think that's something I got from all of the women in my family, just being able to laugh at ourselves. I don't think everybody has that gift. And I mean, they were always just really invested, and I think it came down to wanting to ask them a lot of questions too, and seeing my parents be kids with their parents and everything and what that was like. And I just always wanted to connect and learn from them, I think, whether it was crafting or just, interviewing them. Like I interviewed Dad's mom, and that was really eye-opening and emotional, and it all kind of happened really naturally. I think when I was a kid, I thought I wanted kids because that's what you're supposed to do, and that was the natural progression of life, is that you grow up, you meet somebody, get married, have kids, whatever order that goes in. And then I think the first time I considered that not having kids was an option was with, I can't remember, it was the people that did the college interview with me.
Oh, Scott and Donna.
Yeah, and they didn't have kids, and they were living in Del Mar in a mansion,
She was like,
having dinner parties, and I'm like, that sounds great. Like, I didn't think that was an option. And I think we had talked, and you were like, yeah, you can save a lot of money if you don't have kids. Like, so that was the first, like, oh, I guess there's other ways you can live your life and have a blast.
Wow.
And I've always liked doing little parties.
That was pivotal. I knew
Yeah.
that it was important, but wow.
It was the first time I had thought about it.
I remember getting there, and it was in Del Mar. I have to say, it was quite the scene.
Yeah.
And Donna and Scott are the dream couple of people who love each other, and it's just the two of them. And their home was beautiful, and they had like dolphin bar stools, remember? It was gorgeous. Anyway, I didn't know that it affected you that way, but yes, that makes a lot of sense.
I had never met, because I had always been in high school, right? I was always with kids with parents. So I never saw grown-ups without kids.
There you go.
So it was the first time I was like, oh, I never considered that as an option. And then I think
I love it.
growing up and going to college and dating, I was like, wouldn't want to have kids with you. Wouldn't want to have kids with you. Because that was always a big thing. I'm like, I need to be with somebody who really wants kids. Right. A lot of guys at that age didn't. And I was like, good, because you wouldn't be a good one at this point. So it was just like, well, so then I kind of was like, I don't think I want kids because I don't see somebody who I'd want to have kids with. And then getting a little older, like, I'm open to it. Like, if it happens, if the right person is there and we come up with this beautiful vision of life that involves kids, then cool. I'm not opposed to it, but I also have seen examples of what a life could look like without them, and I think that's also really appealing and valid, especially as somebody who like wants to travel the world and do all these things. And I don't know, I guess fantasizing about building a home wasn't a big fantasy for me. It's always been about traveling and learning and everything. But I see the beauty in taking care of kids too. Also as I get older and everything.
Well, I have been a mother for 23 years. I have 2 boys and a girl. And I guess I never really thought about what type of mother I would be. It's been kind of like go with the flow type parenting, I think. I've learned some things with my oldest that I've changed and don't recommend ever doing it with the next child or the next. So that is just like, it's no rule book to be a parent. So I just kind of been going with the flow of like, this works. I don't think that works, so let's ditch that and move to the next thing. And honestly learning from each child, because they're not the same. So what worked with that child may not work with this child. And it's just learning, like, well, hopefully learning who they are and go with the flow of that. I don't know. You know, you always have this picture of girls, you click with them, you get to dress up, you get to do all these types of things with your daughter and stuff, and it's surprisingly, she's a dad's girl. So it's like, sometimes the connection I feel like is not there. It's like, okay, we need a family meeting because I feel like the connection is not there when I want it to be there.
What kind of mom, how would you describe your mom? How is she as a mom?
Funny, crazy sometimes. She's nice, caring. If you call her, she'll definitely pick up immediately and come to you. So you can always count on her. And yeah, I think that's some words. I definitely think I got her kindness. Sometimes I feel like I have her energy, like be energetic and stuff like that. Sometimes, like just a little bit. I get her fashion statement, her little fashion themes when I'm really trying. And it was actually kind of good. It was actually pretty, like, when you hear, like, a girl with 2 boys and then you're the only one, some people, like, think you're by yourself and stuff. But my brother was actually always there for me. And then, even if I needed to talk to somebody, I had Tyrell, had her sometimes, had Khalil, and then my dad, so my grandmother. And so I always had someone I could look and follow through to.
Do you feel like you're a daddy's girl?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? More than a mama's girl?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why do you think that is?
I just feel like I click more with my dad, to be honest.
Is it surprising that, that it wasn't like the dress-up daughter, maybe because of like your relationship with your mom and your dad?
I was raised like my younger age with my grandmother, my dad's mom. And like it wasn't the whole dress up thing. It was like I'm taking care of you type ordeal and teaching you the things to be, I don't know, as an adult, And then when I moved with my mom, that became like a different type of upbringing because she was trying to let me be how she wasn't able to be. But it was like also, in my mind, I could run free because I didn't have that opportunity with my grandma, So I was like, ooh, let me see how far this can go, And so, yeah, I think it definitely, I don't even remember your question anymore where I'm going at, but yeah, like it definitely was not neither one of them was like the girly girl connection bond. I had a bond with my mom, but it wasn't like that, like girly girl thing. Let's go do this and that and the third. Yeah, we're gonna go do all this type of stuff. It wasn't that, but it was, oh, I have you in my life now, like that type of connection, like we're here now, and yeah. So.
Definitely going to college, continuing my dance career, starting my own dance company business, kind of little thing, and hopefully be successful in life, stuff like that. For middle schooling, I would probably say to keep going and don't let anyone count you down, kind of. Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to say it. I say that because when I first started my dance career, at one spirit, I'm about to cry, at one spirit, I had got bullied. Because I was the only new dancer there, and I was catching up faster, and they put me in front rows and stuff like that. And so I was an easy target for them. And so that's what I would say for little girls like that.
That's so good. Because you lead them. So to keep your confidence, how did you overcome the bullying?
Cutting people out my life, focusing on me and my dance. And luckily I had amazing dance teachers there that had put a stop to it and everything. But I say those are my biggest. By talking to me more, by talking to the girls about how it made me feel and what the consequences and everything was about and stuff like that. Yeah. I definitely think it made me a better dancer because I feel like I tried harder and stuff like that.
What is the one thing or character trait you want your daughter to have when she leaves the house? So when she graduates high school, like what do you hope that she has or knows?
We was talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
I just want her to be her no matter who's around her, not let peer pressure get to her. You know, if she doesn't want to do it, don't let anyone force her into doing something that she doesn't feel comfortable doing just to fit in. So yeah, I would just say be you and do things for you and not anyone else.
I'm your oldest child, so you became a mother with me. What was it like becoming a mom?
Well, it was a big surprise because I hadn't had it in my map, and so I wasn't practiced. But when I found out I was pregnant, and that was such a turning point for me because I had been on a different kind of path, and wherever it came from, when I found out I was pregnant with you, it was this child did not choose to come into this world. And so I need to get my stuff together and do my best. I cannot be repeating what I came out of. And so then, there was a lot of drama and things like that, but only right there in the beginning. And then I was just by myself, with my girlfriends, pregnant. It was very peaceful. Mm-hmm. You know these stories, but they told me you were a boy. When we did ultrasounds, were not quite as, accurate. Precise, yes, yeah. Accurate as they were. And so when I gave birth to you, so I was ready for you in terms of my heart. I had really prepared. I just felt very peaceful about that. And, I think a lot of times young parents can feel really confident. Like I was just sure I was going to do it so much different, and so much better.
You did, I think, from what you said, from what I know.
Anyway, so then when you were born you were born, I won't go into all the birth stuff, which was also a trip, but, and I said, like I said earlier, I said, oh my God, it's my Jerica. Because I had picked your name as a girl, then they told me you were a boy, I had this whole boy thing, and then there you were, my Jerica, and they put you in my arms, and so you know the story, but of course my first thought was, she's not ugly. Because everybody always says that babies are cute, and I'm like, they're not always. And I even this is how immature I was. I even made my friends promise to tell me.
Like, be honest?
Yes. So that this is how immature I was. But I thought I was so
You're
mature.
a teenager, though. Like, it's fine.
But then when I held you, and I had that thought, I did not say that aloud.
Thanks. I'm glad I don't have to process that internal.
No. But I was like, I'll never leave you. Mm-hmm. I'll never leave you.
I think as being your firstborn, I can see this because I see this with my own child was there anything you saw in me that reflected I know that I have that in myself because I see it in my child?
Oh, Do you mean, do we have some things in common?
Well, yeah, no. So for example, like, I learned through my child because he's very like strong, like willed, and even like how he communicates, it showed me that I communicate that way. Like I didn't really realize that I communicate the way that he communicates. Like, was there anything that in mothering, like your, first time being a mom, it was like, oh, I see that. I see myself in her in this way, and I didn't see it before.
Maybe we had a really different experience, because as an adult, I would say that.
Oh, okay.
But as when you were little, what I saw in you, I saw you were so joyful. I mean, I was your mom, but you loved me so much.
100%, still do.
And that was like, my God, like she's just miraculous. She's just this perfect person. So my big thing was, don't F it up. Don't because I was coming out of something else, right? And self-identity. And I was like, don't let that lead. And I was thinking about when you asked the question about becoming a mother, or what it is to be a mother. One of the other biggest things that I think I didn't mention was, how can I be a better person so that they have something to look up to?
Oh.
That was a huge shift for me.
That's good.
To move from just being self-focused, which this is, I think, very common for mothers, but from being self-focused to other-focused. And what does my presence do to their life, do to their self-identity, do to their, way that they move in the world?
Right.
So it kind of rippled out, not only myself, but, what is it to be a woman? What kind of woman do I want to be?
Right.
What kind of mother am I going to be was almost secondary, because I wasn't practiced in this idea of mothering.
Right. It was the woman. What kind
It was
of
the
woman
woman
do I want to
part.
be? I love that.
Yeah. And so anyway, what I saw in you, I think the ways that I started to laugh and be like, oh my God, we're so much alike.
Yeah.
Was later. I have to laugh because the age you are when you have a child plays into the storyline. I didn't aspire to be a mother. My mom, your
At
grandma had
age.
aspired, right, ever.
Oh, but I'm saying you were still so young.
So I was still so young. It's not like it had even come into, right? But I was so young that I wasn't doing things that one should do to not be one then, right? Like, hello, one can prevent themselves from being a mother. I'm just saying I was immature. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, no,
You can edit it out.
Wrap it up.
I feel like in hindsight, it must have been preordained, because I did not contemplate ending it. Which seems like it would have been a quick thought. Again, you're getting it in hindsight, the answer to your question in hindsight. I think somehow I knew that my kids would save me. Because I didn't care about myself the way I felt like I could about someone else. Thanks. So I think I saw it as my lifeline, because I was headed down a really bad road. I mean, at that point, you know the story.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this was, I guess in a different way it was similar, but I don't feel like I initially chose that. It's just where life was, the way life was rolling out. I wasn't going to be with her dad. So there were some twists and turns that we would need a whole nother day to talk about. But I think that it was very good that I was alone while I was pregnant, because I got to be peaceful. Where if I had been in a still relationship with your dad, it wouldn't have been peaceful.
Right. I echo that. It was definitely not a choice. I was married to his dad, to Jerica's dad. And I didn't go into any of it, albeit, my pregnancy was planned. We were married before we got pregnant. I didn't foresee it ending. I definitely didn't. I've never glamorized. I don't think I've ever had an image of a glamorized single parent, because even you weren't. I don't remember you being a single parent. Right. Daddy came into our life when I was 3. And I think the whole like independent woman era, like the strong woman, it is glamorized that parents can do it alone. And I think I was just talking to Chakise about that this morning. It's like, although we can do it alone, it's not natural. It's not natural for me to be a single parent, And so I always push back when anyone, mothers, and because there's single fathers out there too, like when mothers or fathers, almost like they strive to be, but what I see is it's in spite of who their partner was. Like, oh, like, forget you, I could just do it on my own. And for me, it's like, I think all children need that duality in a home, and not just children, but as an adult, like to have a partner raise.
Just as somebody to spread
something,
that
just
it's
support.
a lot.
But also, I will say, to answer your question, that I've had a recent shift in my own narrative of like, a single parent by societal terms means maybe you're not with the father, or there's not a father in the home, when to me, I reworked it as it's not single relationship status, it's a single being. And for me, I have such a strong support system that I've actually never been a quote unquote single parent. I've always had my parents to support with I've had, my siblings, I've had friends. Like, I've never actually done it on my own. It just isn't the conventional, thing. And I think that's such a strong shift in narrative, even for myself, of like, oh, sure, I've had to be strong and tough, sure, but it's like, I haven't done it by myself.
But what a wonderful myth in your own mind to bust.
100%. I mean, that was like last week.
Right, that was recent.
It was like last week a bust. And so I'm happy that I have a couple years left. I mean, I'm always a mom, but it is interesting though, because I didn't foresee my life being unconventional in that way from a parenting standpoint.
Right.
I know, and I think that bond of just our time together when I was small stayed. I love y'all with every iota in my body, but it feels like additions came on that made us like better. But I definitely feel a unique connection, probably largely in part because no one else in our family can relate to just
that time.
Just that time. I am very grateful for, I think it also gives me context in terms of my relationship with Jerica, with my son, and savoring our one-on-one time. I think because being in a family that has multiple siblings, obviously having a 2-parent home, there's not a lot of space for, duos. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of one-on-one time. Right. There's always other people around. People. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mom always says that we share a wall, and Mom was like, we get to drive to LA together to go to Malibu. And I'm like,
we're so excited. And we live in the same house because we don't get to
have one-on-one time. So I think even though it was 0 to 3, I felt like it set a foundation to where even now.
Well, it was 0 to 3, just me and you, and then it was 3 to 4.5, me, you, and Dad.
Dad, yeah, which was a whole other.
Diva was born when you were 4.5.
So I don't remember that time, but I think I'm in touch with what it was like having Mom as a mom. We're close in age, technically. You know what I mean? We're less than 2 days. I have friends her age, maybe a little younger, but
okay.
too. Like, she's only 19 years older than me. So it was like having the cool mom, the relatable mom. They're like, that's your mom? Like, what? And also, like, back up, bro, that's my mom. You know, like, it was seeing her grow up. It was seeing her go through college. Like, I was thinking, like, in the pictures of you graduating, I was old enough. I 100% remember you studying, you crying when you got an A- because you deserved an A. I understand why you cried now. I thought you just cried because it was an A-, but I understand, like, nah, I deserve an A, so I get it. But I remember, you know, moving from Oregon and what that looked like. Like, I remember, you know, daddy going ahead, and I remember you running down the stairs when you got into grad school. I remember you graduating grad school. I remember you working and going to school. And then I remember you, like, climbing this corporate ladder by choice. Like, I remember your raises along the way. I remember you studying and taking us to Chakise so that you could study while we played in the balls. Like, like, all of those, you know, I remember Chakise coming and you being at work, you know, from 4 a.m. till whenever, and, you know, we're trying to call you and you weren't around because you were working, and to now where you're, so I remember, I remember her growing from, like, very stressed out to very peaceful now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have this, like,
Long
view. So to be able to, and it's interesting because I feel like I see my mom as a woman first and then a mom, probably because I saw you become a woman, probably. So I think I got to, that was my experience with you as a mom. And she was just always, not always accessible. Like, it wasn't until you found your footing professionally, until we got a little bit older, that you were, like, emotionally available for me. But I remember, like, she would drop me off at the gym and still bring me food. Like, you know, like, she would be the one that still took me to school, or, you know, like, so my parents are very much there, even if you didn't have the emotional capacity because you were carrying so much.
Yeah.
But it was like my mom was always there. So now I get, my mom is kind of on her next phase, where the professional part is, and, like, we're on, like, the down slope.
Right.
So we just get to, like, talk for hours and do all the stuff that we didn't get to do, but I also get to see and appreciate all of the phases.
Well,
Yes.
I love looking at you as a mother in the reflection that it has, because we did kind of grow up together.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 19. And so,
Fresh 19.
So Jace was always going to get the youngest, least mature part of me all the way. And that's just what the oldest is dealt. But then seeing you, you know, as a mom, it's so great that our relationship is such that we can kind of compare notes and spend time together and watch each other parent, because you'll say, oh, I know now. Like, it's healing because, for example, you're like, I know now why you couldn't always be available, because you had to put food on the table.
Right.
Where until you've had to do that and see how the agony of taking you from your kid, you know, as the kid, you're thinking, oh my gosh,
where's my mom?
Why isn't my mom here?
Yeah.
Why isn't she cooking meals for me? You know, and
why are we eating out every day?
Right. And now you're like, oh,
why do
I
we
see
have dinner
why,
on the
'cause
table?
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
You know,
we're going to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
so being able to
That's true.
watch you as a mother discover through your own parenting, which I think this is what happens across all generations. When I see you, so I remember when I discovered it and started to give forgiveness and permission to my mother for all the ways that I didn't feel she was whatever I needed her to be.